on your side with breaking news and the Tri-State's most accurate forecast. This is Good Morning Tri-State.
You might be thinking more about holiday gifts and spending than worrying about your taxes, but now might be a good time to start looking at them. Accountant Bill Hesch joins us next to explain why. It's not quite the end of the year yet, but it's still a good time to start thinking about your taxes if you want to keep more money in your pocket. Certified public accountant Bill Hesch has some tax savings tips for 2010, and he's joining us to share some of his ideas with us. And for 2010, obviously, we're getting close to the end, but you say there's still a way that we can actually save on our taxes, beginning with pay itemized deductions before December 31st.
That is exactly right, Janelle, because this is the only time when you have the December 31st that you may have your January mortgage payment. You can pay it December 31st, and all that interest is deductible this year.
Oh, wow.
You may have income taxes or state taxes you owe in January. You can pay them this year. So there are some last-minute things you can do in order to save taxes in 2010.
And any way that we can save money, it is a great way to go about doing it. Okay, now this one was kind of confusing to me. Break this down for us. If you're in the 10 or the 15% tax bracket, you can consider selling those stocks.
That's right. Now, a lot of people don't realize this is part of the Bush tax cuts that have been extended still. And if you have your income if you're married around $68,000 or less, if you're single, $34,000 or less. So if you have stocks, and maybe family might gift stocks to children that are over age 24, they can sell those stocks up to those levels, and they won't have to pay any income tax on the gain on the sale of the stock.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, a lot of people would definitely like that then.
It's a great year-end tax planning strategy.
Well, let's move on to if you owe alternative minimum tax for 2010, then you may think about deferring those payments?
That's correct, because Congress is still debating whether they could get the extension for some of the alternative minimum tax provisions so that people don't have to pay as much alternative minimum tax. But if you are in that situation, then you don't want to make tax payments in December. You want to wait till next year, because it doesn't help you for alternative minimum tax to make tax payments, as well as certain miscellaneous itemized deductions.
Now, what is the alternative minimum tax? Who gets that?
Well, it's kind of interesting. There are really two tax computations. We call it the regular tax, and there's a separate tax computation called alternative minimum tax, and you don't get to deduct the taxes that you pay for alternative minimum tax purposes.
Okay, I see. Better understanding. Well, let's talk about the business owner. Even if they're looking ahead 6 months to a year to purchase maybe new equipment or even a vehicle, you say maybe think about doing it in the next couple of weeks. Why is that? Well,
because as a business owner, there's a special provision that you can write off the cost of equipment. A new SUV, you can write off up to $25,000 of an SUV that's over 6,000 pounds in gross vehicle weight. So there's some year-end strategies for business owners to buy equipment. I don't recommend you just go out and buy equipment to save taxes.
Okay.
But if you're planning to do something the next 6 to 12 months, you should do it in December.
And some of these ideas here are really great, but maybe you should think about talking to an expert when you're doing your taxes to get some of this figured out.
It's so important. In fact, on my website, there is access to an online tax planning guide at HeschCPA.com.
Okay, and we have more information as well. You can visit WCPO.com for all of the information. Once you get there today, just click on Seen on 9. And thank you so much, Bill, for sharing those tips. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.